Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Chatting Pitch. Now, this one's going to be really interesting because I am in a very different location to what I usually am.
He's in the boot of a car, ladies and gentlemen. Leslie Way has been kidnapped, and he is so dedicated to the cause, so dedicated to giving you guys the quality podcasting that you deserve. He's recording from the boot of his car. Leslie, where are they taking you?
My name is Leslie Way, and joined with me is my co-host. Sorry, you can introduce yourself.
I'm not in the boot of a car. I'm just Matthew D. Smith. Leslie, I've heard they're holding you ransom, but the problem is they can't find anyone to actually pay the money. Tell me, is this true?
They say if I don't record a podcast in a car park of a cinema, then
it's over.
Then it's over. Then my whole family will never see me again. Yeah, they held my family ransom, and they said in order to get them back, let's review Megalopolis. Cue the jingle. Yeah, so what a return of events. So Matthew and I went and watched the new Francis Ford Coppola Megalopolis. I don't really know how to describe it. But
no, it's interesting, isn't it? You've just come out of seeing it, haven't you?
Literally, 10 minutes ago. I walked out of the cinema, I hopped into my car, I got myself a little peach iced tea. Yeah, and
just like Coppola would have wanted.
Just like how he wanted. Wow, peach iced tea. So, Matthew watched the movie yesterday, and then I only had the opportunity to watch it today. And, time is limited with our busy schedules, and what better way to record a podcast episode, but in the boot of my car. I say boot.
Held
it's actually
at gunpoint.
I'm actually in my in the driver's seat.
You almost said you were in your pants.
I was going to say I was in the passenger seat, and then I realized
here I am in my pants.
In my pants. I've got the rain. It's heavy rain, so with any luck, there might be a little bit of a pitter patter in the recording.
I think it might be quite nice in a sort of vaguely ASMR sort of way, and a nice flowing piece of water. Meditative, some might say.
Yes, medicated.
Or maybe it'll be really distracting and awful. Anyway, what did you think of Megalopolis?
Wow. So let's just do a little bit of backstory before we hop in, because this movie has been shrouded with a lot of online discourse on how it was made and why it was made and what does it mean and
who are you over there and
who are you over there? Who am I over here?
Get out
Who's
of my
that
fridge.
over there?
Where am I?
What is in my fridge?
What day is this?
When does this expire? So yeah, Francis Ford Coppola. We talked about this movie a while ago, and we did a pitch on what we think Megalopolis was going to be, and my lord, it's very different to what we pitched.
That bit doesn't surprise me, but what I was going to say, what alarms me is that I never would in a million years have guessed that this is what was in store for us.
Okay, well,
in a good and
here's
bad
the
way.
thing. Here's the thing, though. Despite the fact that the movie has been heavily criticized with the lack of direction, or the vision was very I remember hearing some people say that it was completely incomprehensible. And I don't think that was the case. When I watched it, I felt like it's pretty straightforward. The story, the through line throughout the movie, it made sense to me. The only things that I wasn't too sure about was some of the wording. There was a lot of Shakespearean dialogue every now and then.
Go back to the club.
Go to the club. The way There's a scene where Adam Driver just does this head bob, and he's
in between Hamlet monologues, Hamlet soliloquies. He's go back to the club.
Go back to the club.
And his yes.
So
You've got expired chicken in this fridge. Yes.
Yes.
Expired chicken in the fridge. Yes. This chicken is expired. Yes. Yes.
Why do you talk like that? I had a stroke. Yeah. So the movie
about my wine business. Go on.
So the movie was definitely it was criticized for some reason, and let's talk about it. Sorry, So what is it? Francis Ford Coppola sold his vineyard, and the budget was around estimated 150 million. And looking at
he bought a lot of the money himself. I don't know if it was all of the money, but a lot of it was him. Very, very. I think the phrase "passion project" is maybe a bit of an understatement. I think it is a great. It presents itself as a fable, doesn't it? Megalopolis, a fable.
Well, right at the beginning,
and with a very ostentatious title card. I do think it is a fable,
which comes up quite a lot. Like every now and then, you'll have those title cards just with etched in
different
marble.
Quotes, like preheat your oven to 180 degrees and put the chicken inside only when the oven. Yes. I do think it is a fable. I think it's the perfect fable that you could tell someone about when a movie pushes the money people aside and just lets the creative person in charge just run amok. And I think that it leads to good things and bad things. I don't know about you. I definitely don't think it's as awful as some people are saying.
Yeah, me neither.
I also don't think it's definitely.
It's also not the greatest thing ever.
The thing is, I don't know if it's a symptom of the internet age where people online seem to be saying that they're either mythologizing it already and that it's the most wonderful thing, and actually you just don't get it, or they go the other way where they talk about it's the most dreadful thing I've ever seen. It's by far not the most dreadful movie ever made. It's not even the worst Francis Ford Coppola movie ever made. That would be Jack.
Where he farts in the bucket and makes everyone smell it in the treehouse. I remember that scene.
and then all the audience cries.
And then he's really old. So
you've got an expired Robin Williams in your fridge. Yes.
I heard a really good.
Yes.
Have you been going back to the club? Yes. He's just talking to himself in the mirror. So I heard a really good analogy the other day of how people, like, especially with the audience recently, with movies coming out, everyone seems to be so obsessed with movies coming out having to be perfect or they have to be amazing. But then if it's not that, it's the complete opposite. It's terrible. It's awful. And then
even if it's great, but not the movie they're expecting.
Yeah. It's like you go into an Indian restaurant and you'd be like, where's my fish and chips? This isn't what I ordered. It's like, you can go get fish and chips next door.
You came into a curry house. I mean,
and then they make you fish and chips and you're not happy with it.
Yeah, you know? and they're like, well, we don't make fish and chips.
We don't actually make fish and chips, but you asked us to, so we did it, and now you're not happy. So what do you want?
So what do you want from us? We made the thing. We made the thing that we wanted to make and that we're really good at, and you didn't like that.
So with that analogy, it's actually perfectly fine to have a movie that's fine. Like it's okay to have movies that aren't amazing or awful.
But Leslie, we're not going to get the engagement by saying that. We have to say
that's true.
Megalopolis is either the worst movie ever made with shoddy green screen and performances that are perhaps not perfect and a lot of maybe self-indulgence and bizarre scenes, or we have to say it is an amazing film that is glorious.
You didn't understand.
And remarkable in its simplicity. And the important point we have to say at the end is, if you disagree with us, then that just means you didn't get it.
That just means you're racist.
That just means you're racist and you're wrong. And actually, some people will consider the wrong bit the worst insult.
Yeah.
Whoa, I might be a racist bigot.
But I can recognize a terrible film when I see one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So let's talk about the story.
I get the impression you think the same. I think it's all of those things that I just said.
Yeah.
I do think it is self-indulgent. I do think it is messy. I do think that some of the production, considering he spent $150 million on it, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, really? This looks like a student film. But at other times, I think, wow, this is a glorious thing. And there are performances in there that I did not expect. I would like to actually hear you. I'm going to stop waffling. I want to hear your review, having only just seen it 20 minutes ago.
Okay. Well, can we just, before I do my review, can we just talk about what the story is? Because it's quite a simple story, but like I think I got most of it, but I would like to. Yeah, I'm still processing.
Sure.
So here we go. From my understanding, Adam Driver plays a character who Caesar. Yeah.
Not from the Ape movie.
Not the salad.
Yeah.
Dressing.
Go back to the club.
Hey Caesar, have you got any dressing for my salad? Yes.
Why does everybody keep asking me that? I'm an artist.
So yeah, he plays Caesar, and there was a moment where I think maybe I just wasn't listening properly, but I got the Adam Driver's character. His name was Caesar, and was his name Giancarlo Esposito? Yeah. His character was called Cicero. Something. Cicero, that's it. And when their names were spoken, like in different scenes, I got them confused because they both sounded similar to me. I don't know if you had that issue, but then at one point, I realized that, yeah, I maybe I was just having a bit of a brain cloud fart moment where I just wasn't digesting. I was also very tired, so that could have played into a little bit of it. So yeah, he's this guy who has he's discovered this new element, Megalon. Is it Megalon?
What happened is I discovered the extinct species of shark. We thought it was extinct. We discovered megalodons, and then what I did was I killed them all, and then turned them into Megalon. It's very ill-defined material.
You know what I think? Like the parallel that I took from that, the element that he discovered, just reminded me of what is it? Vibranium from Black Panther.
Okay.
The element that can do everything. You know, you can heal people, you can build things. It's also a computer. You can look through memories. It does everything.
Hey, get shot in the face? Have some Megalon. Need to brush your teeth? Here's some Megalon toothpaste.
Does that not happen in Black Panther? Do you remember? Martin Freeman got shot in the back, and then he had they just put a little bit of vibranium in his spine, a little ball, and then he was fine again.
It doesn't work with uranium, does it? I try that all the time.
Martin Freeman doesn't go around shouting.
I got a cut on my knee. I'm going to rub some uranium jelly on it. Apparently, that makes you ill.
But the difference between that one and the Black Panther one was Martin Freeman didn't run around saying, no.
And then when he took his sheet off,
that might be a bit of a spoiler.
Replicate 8 times.
Yeah. That might be a bit too far ahead. I just saw my audio levels clip when I did that, so I'm gonna keep it down.
No. Just for the yeses and nos.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, what does he do? He's trying to build this new city, right?
Yes.
He's trying to.
People ask him, "Are you Caesar the ape?" And he says, "No, no, no, no." And they say, "Are you Caesar the architect who's trying to build that utopia?" And he says, "Yes."
Yes.
So that's his aim. He wants to build a utopia. He butts heads with Mayor Cicero, who very unpopular. But he is someone who thinks that, well, if we try and reach for a utopia, actually, it's not going to go so well.
Yeah.
I think if we try and keep things the way they are, yes, they're not perfect, but we're not going to destroy ourselves. And that's where the disagreements come between those two. But there is a lot going on.
Cicero wants to build a casino at one point, doesn't he? He's like, I want to do this, and then
it's never mentioned again.
Yeah, it's never mentioned again. Yeah,
there's
and
a lot of stuff
like,
in there where it's like, okay,
here's something, and then
here's something that's nothing. Very The Room-esque.
Do you think it feels like The Room as a movie, structurally, and acting? I guess.
I fear saying that because people will misinterpret it as us saying it's as bad as The Room.
It really isn't.
I don't think that's even a question. It's nowhere near that low quality. I do think it feels like it's got a touch of the student film about it in that it doesn't feel like there were 20 people all standing over Coppola's shoulder. It feels like it was him just doing what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And if doing what he wanted to do meant shooting a scene, then fine. But if it also meant deciding what happens next by playing a game of Boggle, then that's fine too, because I'm the director, but I'm also the executive producer.
Pretty sure Scrabble, wasn't it? Was it Scrabble?
Was it Scrabble? I don't know.
It felt, they looked like Scrabble tiles to me, but then the way that...
I was just picking a game. I wasn't referencing anything, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought... I just stepped out of the cinema, so I just remember that moment. And there's a moment where they play Scrabble, but then they say something that sounded like a crossword puzzle as a question. And I was like, oh, those aren't the rules of the game of Scrabble.
It's Megalon Scrabble.
Megalon.
You can play any game with it.
I feel like I took a lot of stuff surface level, and I think the whole time I was watching it, I just felt like this movie isn't as bad as I think it is.
I don't know if it comes from it's a simple story.
Mm-hmm.
Two people disagree, and one of them happens to have a daughter who falls in love with the other.
Yeah.
It's very simple in that way, but the themes that it has inside, there's a lot of big themes that it wants to explore.
Oh my lord. Francis Ford Coppola stole Avatar. You know? That was two people disagree, and then the daughter fell in love with the guy.
How dare he? He stole Avatar. What does James
There are so
Cameron
many parallels, you know? Time, stop! And then all the avatars just like freeze.
Bam!
That was a thing that... Okay, so he can stop time.
Yes.
Okay. But
because he's a superhero. Welcome to the Megalon universe.
The MCU.
I'm Megalolopus Man. I'm Megalollipop Man. It's just a really thin guy with a very round head.
And I am Megabus Man.
What did you call it? Yeah, Megalolibus.
Megalolibus
I
Man.
drive a bus.
So
and I only take payment through lollipops. Francis Ford Coppola, I think you've gone off the deep end again.
You asked me what my review of the movie was after stepping out of the cinema straight. So that's just a general gist of the story. Okay. I was entertained and unentertained at the same time.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It was like there was so much to look at, and there was just so many ideas thrown at the screen. And like I kind of get what he was trying to do, but I didn't fully understand. But it was more or less there. There was a lot of symbolism, interesting editing choices. And I actually quite like the music. I don't know if you enjoyed it as well, but like I like the sound design, and the cogs clicking and turning when they're standing on the big clock. Whatever that was. He's a product of his. He's just a product of his time.
It's just a product of his time. Time here meaning time. I do think it's a film that takes multiple viewings, because I came out thinking the same thing, and it's 2-3 days after I've seen it, and I'm still thinking, okay, I don't think I fully understand this.
Well,
in a good way. I didn't come out thinking that's incomprehensible nonsense. I came out thinking there's more to explore here.
I think the most important thing is, like, I didn't come out hating it. Like, as much as everyone, because I remember we both listened to another movie critic that we listen to every now and then, Mark Commode. He said that he absolutely hated it, and he didn't understand what he was trying. Did he understand what he was trying to do, or was he just?
I just think he really didn't like it.
He just really didn't like it.
I think, there are some reviews where it doesn't even come down to understanding. It just comes down to, I hated this thing.
Sure. But like, I didn't hate it. There was stuff I liked about it, and there was stuff that I found incredibly boring. But yeah, I guess that would be my review without having to spoil too much. But what is there to spoil? I don't really know. What about you? Let's hear your thoughts.
Sure. I mean, I wrote a review from it, but I'm not just going to read from that, because
speak from your heart.
Reading's for chumps.
Speak
anyway.
It from your heart.
What Megalopolis means to me. Bit of Bryan Adams there. Yes. Are you Bryan Adams? Yes.
Go ahead.
I kind of enjoyed that it was a mess.
Yeah.
Some people are saying, "Oh, it's a mess. That means it's terrible." I think I would maybe not agree, but I would understand if some people didn't like it for other reasons. That if they think it's overstuffed with too many themes, if for whatever reason it does become incomprehensible for them, then fine. But the messiness almost sort of helped. It gave the impression that the film was like a living, breathing thing. Not to get too navel gazing about it, but Adam Driver's performance just perplexed me, because there were some times where I thought, yeah, you're perfect for this role, and then there were other times where I thought, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah.
But just
are you talking about the latter half, or like just sprinkled throughout?
Not any specific. Like, after this point, it's terrible or anything. It's just there are a few scenes where I thought, yeah, he's nailing this, and then other scenes where I just thought, okay, I'm not sure. But then reading up on how it was made, particularly, there's a fairly recent interview with Aubrey Plaza where she talks about struggling to get a hold of like where her character was going and where the story of the whole film was going. I don't know if it's maybe a casualty of that.
Maybe.
I don't know. On the whole, though, I would say he is very good. I'm not saying that you're going to go in and watch this and just be distracted by it all the time.
Yeah.
I would say it is a film that tries to be amazing, and the fact that it falls a little bit short of that, well, it's still really good.
Okay.
In my eyes. I thought Jon Voight really surprised me. One, because I thought he would only have a small role. From
he was in a surprising amount.
Yeah, from the publicity for it, I thought, he's just going to, 1 or 2 scenes. I was also really surprised by the sort of the slapsticky elements.
The humor.
Like, there's a scene, it's not really a spoiler because it's just a little thing, but there's a scene where Shia LaBeouf's character, who's the son of this banker, so he's very, very wealthy, very very much a spoiled brat sort of child.
Yeah.
and there's a bit where they're walking through a room, and Shia LaBeouf just takes off his hat, turns around, and says to his right hand man, he throws his hat on the floor and says, "Pick up my hat." And the right hand man turns around and says to the next henchman in line, "Pick up my hat." And it's just like a sequence of people going, "Pick up my hat," and they all pick up each other's hats. And just little unexpected bits like that, where I am not arguing at all that Megalopolis is a comedy. I do not want to see it at the Golden Globes. The Golden Globe for Best Musical or Comedy goes to. But there are bits where I'm just like,
it
this
really is a musical and comedy, because there's a musical number in it at one point, isn't there? So...
Yes.
I did like that bit as well. No, carry on.
But there are bits that are intentionally funny.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bit towards the end, I won't spoil it, but there's a bit with John Voight in a bed.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, oh my God. It was just perfect.
I want to talk spoilers now, but yeah, let's do ratings. So
okay.
I think I would give it I will give it a chatting P.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not split down the middle. Like, there was a little bit more that I liked than I anticipated. So definitely not any further than that, though, because I don't think it didn't grab me as much as I really hoped. Like, I went in really hoping to like it, like,
okay,
all the way through, but then there were moments that it lost me. So it really was almost split down the middle, but yeah, there was a lot more to like than I anticipated, and that's my rating. What about you?
I would say exactly the same.
Really?
Even the same rating. Yeah. Chatting P for me. Again, a lot more that I liked about it that I disliked.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very individual vision.
Mm-hmm.
I think that its aim is to try and get people talking, and it has definitely done that.
Yep. Despite how little money it's made back, because the $150 million budget only made back domestically, what, $5 million or something like that?
I mean, you said to me when you went into the screening, it was you and one other person, wasn't it?
So it was me
and Adam Driver.
Yeah. Adam Driver got up and asked Adam Driver a question halfway through. No, there was me. There was a gentleman one row ahead of me. And then there was an elderly couple of friends, like two ladies at the front.
They have their own podcast, don't they?
They have their own. Well, I don't know how they feel about it with their podcast, but they walked out halfway through.
Well, we'll have to check out their review on Two Old Ladies, available.
I should have got their
podcasts.
I should have got their MySpace, or Facebook, or whatever it was.
When you heard one of them talking, there's another thing I don't like about Megalopolis.
The troll's back. The Rebel Ridge troll.
Too many women in this one again.
It's too many Megalodons. Yeah, let's talk spoilers.
Okay.
So, tell me about that moment you liked with John Voight at the end.
Okay.
Because I think I know exactly what you mean.
The whole film builds up to, well, part one of the story threads leads up to this big banker, John Voight, who's, wealthier than God. And there's a sort of hostile takeover happening, being orchestrated by his wife and John Voight's son. She's trying to manipulate things. I thought Aubrey Plaza was terrific, by the way.
Yeah, she was good.
Throughout the whole film.
Yeah,
and Shia LaBeouf as well. I really liked him.
I know that we like to keep this podcast PG, but there was a sex scene that I found very funny, and it was the moment where Aubrey Plaza is just telling Shia LaBeouf to do all these sex acts, and then at the same time talking like contract terms.
Yeah,
and that exchange of dialogue with Shia LaBeouf just going, "Yes, auntie."
yes, auntie, wow.
I found that very funny. Like, I was the only one giggling in the cinema.
And he's just not the little old ladies, no. They're gone by then.
Oh yeah, they were already out.
He was just totally into what was happening with her. And she was like, yeah, and you're going to provide me with all the contracts, aren't you? And he's like, oh, yes, auntie, wow.
His lizard brain just switched on.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought that was very funny.
I love the bit where there's like all the lights go off during that sex scene.
Oh, yeah.
And
oh no! Yes.
And while Platinum goes like, "What's that?" Because all the lights are flashing off, and it's like the world's ending. And Shia LaBeouf just goes, "Oh, it's your." She's like, "No, all the lights going off."
I found that funny too. Yeah,
but yeah, the bit we're talking about is the John Voight's character, whose name I can't remember. He's pretending to be comatose, so he's just lying in bed.
Yep.
And Shia LaBeouf and Aubrey Plaza walk in, and does he like show it off? He like points at it. He's like, "Hey, look at my boner.
What do you think of my boner?
What do you think of my boner?" Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he pulls the sheet back, and there's the tiniest. There's like a child's bow and arrow.
Yeah.
And he delivers some line of dialogue, pulls the bow back about an inch, and then just fires it, and pow.
It was such an impact on Aubrey Plaza's character. I just thought, like, how... But wait, that doesn't add up. And then he shoots Shia LaBeouf in the bum twice.
Yeah.
As he runs off. Yeah.
And I just thought, this is wonderful, because it's in the middle of a very serious movie that's trying to talk about what life means and utopia and asking the right questions in life and all of these things. And then every so often they just have this funny bit of slapstick. Whereas, I can almost imagine like,
Shia LaBeouf just running away. He got me on the ass. Get it out.
And then they follow it up with that scene. Pull this thing out of my ass. I can almost imagine Coppola going like, throw this speech from Hamlet out. We're just going to do some slapstick today.
Well, from what I've heard, like behind the scenes, Francis Ford Coppola was just constantly smoking weed and was just high out of his mind. So I think what happened was he just went to his trailer, which happened quite a bit, hotboxed the whole trailer with his cameras. Came out and went like, I have an idea.
His trailer was made from Megalon.
John Voight's gonna shoot Shia LaBeouf in the bum twice. And his trailer's what? Made of Megalodon.
Yeah. His trailer's made from Megalon. His weed is partly Megalon.
Yeah.
You can smoke it as well. I don't know if you know. You can use it to create a dial-up internet connection. You can use it to fix someone's face, and you can smoke it.
Yeah.
It truly is a wonder product.
You can fill your car.
Megalon, buy yours today.
Did you get the same reaction from the reveal of Megalopolis at the end, where I couldn't help but feel like, oh, he's just created a theme park?
I said because of all the gold and black, I said in my review that it just looks like Donald Trump's Epcot Center.
Right, yeah. So Epcot, part of Disneyland, right? So I couldn't help but look at it and just think, like, what's the direction here? Like, why do these things look like the way they do?
Yeah.
Is it because of the structure, the element? It creates these structures to look abnormal, or was that a choice? I mean, you can use is it Megalon?
Megalon.
To do whatever you want, but Adam Driver, well, Caesar, has decided to make it look like Epcot from Disneyland with the little conveyor belts that you can stand on that will apparently get you from A to B in 5 minutes, but they were moving so slow.
Take you to a garden or something. I love it's just this really strange idea that he's trying to build a utopia, this character, and his way of building a utopia is destroying everyone's home and replacing it with gardens.
Yeah.
He doesn't ever reconcile. He never goes, he never talks about the fact that he's destroying housing for people. He just keeps talking about, everyone's going to have a private garden where they can go and reflect.
Yeah.
What, and how they have no house anymore?
He's just built a big Zen garden. That's all he's done, right?
He just stands atop this Megalon structure. Look!
Yeah.
A water feature.
And it's like, yeah, great. What can it do?
Everyone receives their own bonsai tree. You're a visionary.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a bit ill-defined. I don't know if Coppola was doing like a...
Was that abstract for the sake of being abstract?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he was doing this abstract deconstructionist thing on purpose. But at no point do you ever... This doesn't ruin the film by any stretch, but at no point do you get a clear designation on what he is making. But I don't know if, because it is a very personal film and Caesar as a character is pretty much just a Coppola stand-in. I think this whole idea of Megalopolis, he's making Megalopolis in the film, and the film is called Megalopolis. So I think it's very clear that it represents Caesar is a filmmaker and he's making a film.
That's the parallel that I drew as well. As I was watching it, I was like, okay. So everybody else, that they're the film studios, and Caesar is Francis Ford Coppola trying to make, and there's like this arc where he's like, oh, I've got all these ideas, and like I think the whole time stopping thing, my interpretation anyway, was like when he stops time, it's him trying to be present in the moment, and this is him focused and knowing what he can do. Because at one point he gets thrown into jail after a sexual misconduct allegation, and then he can't stop time anymore because he's on the floor and he's like, oh, he's down in the dumps. He can't even stop a bloody fly.
Yeah, he can't censor himself. He can't. Yeah.
And then he meets the love of his life, which is, you know, at the end was dedicated to his most recent passing of his wife, right? I believe. Like, I think in memory of my wife, I forget her name. I didn't read the title card fast enough. But yeah, so that was almost like a metaphor for him, like rediscovering the passion for making films again, you know? And then he was able to stop time again.
Yeah, the fact that Caesar's wife helps him.
Yeah.
He can stop time again, but only when she's there to help him. And
at the very end, they stop time. She stops time. And then the baby is still moving. And that's kind of like a metaphor for, what's that word I'm thinking of?
Scaring your baby. It's a metaphor for scaring your baby, which as a parent, when you hear as a non-parent, like, oh, I intentionally scared my child today. As a non-parent, you go, oh, that's really horrible. But as a parent, I got to tell you, it's hilarious.
There's no emotional scarring that will scare me from traumatizing my child.
Your child's just wandering through, you know, my 3-year-old's just wandering through the house with a bit of paper and a pen. He's done a drawing like, Daddy, where are you? Daddy, I want to show you a picture. Bah! And then he just jumps out of his skin. And...
Do you want to see my chainsaw and hockey mask? Get these brownies while they're still hot. Oh, yeah.
That is parenting.
The time-stopping thing. What's that word for when you plan for the future generation? There's a word for it, and they used it in Tenet, you know, the Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, what's this? What are you doing this for? And then the protagonist says this word, and I can't for the life of me remember what that word is.
Where they talk about his legacy?
Yeah.
Yeah, they talk about that a lot in Megalopolis as well, don't they?
Yeah, what's that bloody word that I'm trying to remember? What,
legacy?
Not legacy. Is the one where you prepare something for the future generation. There's a word for
legacy.
It. Is it legacy? He uses a different word. I'm sure of it, but I'm gonna Google it afterwards and then I'll tell you.
Legacy.
Yeah, Megalopolis.
He's talking about Andre Agassi, the tennis player.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know.
You see him? He's like, stop time, and Andre Agassi's serve is so quick that he can't quite stop the ball.
The only tennis player I know is John McEnroe. I can't believe it!
Yeah,
I can't believe this!
He turned that line into a little cottage industry for himself, didn't he?
Yeah, a little cottage.
Yeah, a little cottage.
I can't believe it's not.
Yeah, I can't believe it's not McEnroe, yeah.
Believe it or not, John McEnroe. John McEnroe's Believe It or Not. And inside it's just numerous statues of him.
But it's him. He takes you on the tour, and you're trying to enjoy the tour. But every time he walks into a room, he's like, I just cannot believe this. And you're like, okay, you know, it's not that unbelievable. It's just, you know, it's a table and some chairs, you know.
Here's a little pitch. Maybe inside Caesar's Megalopolis theme park, there is a John McEnroe museum. There we go.
Which represents Francis Ford Coppola's love for John McEnroe.
That's right. Are there any other spoilers that we want to talk about? There was that whole Colosseum thing.
Yeah.
Where there was a singer, she came out, and then that was like another, what was it? I guess a social commentary on cancel culture, you know?
Yeah.
So like you said, there's loads of ideas thrown at the screen, but like sometimes they can kind of just, they happen and then they just go away and then there's almost no consequence from it.
Yeah.
It kind of, you forget about it by the end of the movie. Yeah. Megalopolis, everybody.
It's a lot.
Yeah. But I didn't hate it.
Oh, no. Definitely would recommend. Go and see it, because unfortunately, the box office that it's bringing in,
yeah,
I don't think it's going to be in theaters too much longer. So,
no. But I'm glad I saw it in the cinema. You didn't get a little man come out halfway through and talk to Adam Driver, did you?
No. Well, we did, but I scared him off. So.
You scared him off the way that you scare your child off.
Every time, yeah. Every time he went to say something, I just go, quiet, watching a movie. And everyone else, I didn't realize at the time, everyone was telling me to be quiet, but I thought they were just agreeing with me. So they would be like, shh, shut up. And I'd be like, yeah, shut up.
And you were like, yep.
Yes. Do you want me to shut up? Yes. Is everyone going to subscribe to this podcast and this chatting pitch? No.
No. Very good. I guess there's not really any room to do any pitching, I guess, because we've said what we had to say before, and I guess this could be a straight up review episode.
Plus, you've been sat in your car boot for 45 minutes now, so
yeah, been looking at seagulls go by. I'm at a beach. This particular cinema is at a beach.
Listeners, Leslie has been allowed out of the boot of the car, and he's been taken to an unknown, unmarked beach. Leslie, tell us, are there any other notable objects that you can see, perhaps landmarks? We can identify where the kidnappers have taken you.
I don't know, man. I see a lighthouse. I think I see a little man.
Oh. He's asking Adam Driver a question.
And he said, no.
And then you said, do I have to get back in the boot? And the kidnappers takes your three kidnappers take their masks off and they're all Adam Driver. And at the same time, they all say, yes.
Yeah, there was that moment where he took his mask off and there was like 10 Adam Drivers just staring
You
at
get
me.
in the boot of that car until you learn how to sell wine.
With his bionic eye. Or whatever that was. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's it, I guess.
It was like this Megalon, it's so beautiful, it makes me see visions.
Was that Werner Herzog?
I don't know why I did it in a slightly effeminate Werner Herzog voice, but...
All right, nice. My battery has actually lasted quite well.
It's actually gone up.
My lord, I think because I'm in the car, every time I shout, everything is just clipping so bad. So that will be fun in the edit. But yeah, I would like to go home now.
Yeah, I think you'll definitely get some clipping every time you have no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel free to go home, mate.
Chatting Pitch has been brought to you by Leslie Way and Matthew D. Smith. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to listen to others and maybe even subscribe. You can follow us on the website, formerly known as Twitter.
Listen to us on Spotify or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Leslie and Matthew have their own side hustles as well. Feel free to check out Leslie's YouTube channel or Matthew's Medium blog. Links in the description. If you want anything else, we might have other links in the description if we think of anything interesting to add. Thank you for listening. I love you.